Hello traders, hello everyone, my name is Grigor and welcome to our new video analysis in which I will look at commodities, since I think that this sector is very important when we are trying to look at inflation and the US dollar. Now, as you know, we have seen a very massive moves up on some of commodities. Prices have increased significantly, but I think that maybe these moves, even if they are still expected to go even higher in the future, that these moves will now maybe just will slow down. Now, the first and the most important factor when I'm looking at this is at the sentiment. I know that a lot of traders, investors are positioned, even analysts are positioned for and are looking for massive inflation to unfold in the upcoming years, which I agree. But at this stage, I think that if something is just overcrowded, well, we think that there can be some kind of a pause. So that's one thing. The next thing is that we are seeing the US dollar recovering quite significantly, meaning that there is a lot of interest in cash, especially maybe if stocks would also come to the downside, meaning that a lot of cash or stronger US dollar. Well, this could be another reason for temporary limited upside on commodities as well. And then you have here Fed tapering that announced a few weeks back. They are ready to make this tapering even faster. So I think that this could again make dollar a little bit stronger. So they are trying to fight inflation, and this could actually cause temporary pullback on commodities. Now, when I'm looking at this overall trend or big trends on commodities, I still think that prices will increase in the future, but I just think that there can be, as I said earlier, some pullback coming. Now, when I'm looking at this very big chart, well, we've been looking for this reversal to the upside after these 5 waves down, and we can see a massive move, massive breakout. So I definitely want to expect more upside, especially when you have this impulsive reaction from a new low or from a new high. Well, that's the confirmation you want to see for a potential top or bottom, and here we definitely have a bottom. But as I said earlier, nothing moves in straight lines. So I think that this pullback is coming, potentially wave B, maybe even wave 2, and then you will see a strong break to the upside for a third leg of recovery, which could be wave C, maybe even wave 3. But that's not important at this stage. The important is that even if this rise would be temporary from last year lows, it still should be made by 3 waves. Okay, but for now, what we have seen recently is, as I said, dollar is very strong, crude oil is coming to the downside, which has something to do with the outputs, with the released US reserves, and obviously potential lockdowns here in Europe could limit the upside on crude oil prices. But I think that crude oil prices also have room for more upside, and they recently turned into a higher degree correction, which is just another indication where overall commodities could be headed. So I'm tracking now wave B retracement. Now, each market has its own personality. So whenever I'm trying to focus or predict price levels for potential retracements, well, I look at the past price action to see what kind of retracements did the market form earlier. And what we can see here in this downtrend, well, that was a quite nice pullback here for a wave 2, which was very similar compared to this wave 4 rally. And maybe it's now time to look for something or expect something similar when this wave B gets a little bit lower for this wave B. Okay, even if I go back here, you can see that you can see that even these pullbacks, the previous one, were quite similar here. Okay, so if wave B is really in the cards, well, that's the range I want to look for. Also notice that there was a lot of noise here back in this 4th wave. So a lot of transactions means very important levels, because there were maybe some entries, some new positions that were building on, and always when market retraces back to their levels, that's definitely important for potential new swing in the future. So if we are going to see this pullback, I think that this could be again a very interesting opportunity on the long side on the overall commodity market. At the same time, as I said, dollar could see a little bit of more upside. Okay, And why I think that could be the case is because if you look at the smaller time frame here, you can clearly count 5 waves up. Notice that recently market, or right now market, is coming out of this downward channel. So I think that this ABC could be in the cards now, meaning more weakness since you have only one leg from the highs. So while this market is coming to the downside, the commodities, obviously dollar could get strengthened. Now, always when we are in a risk off mode, especially if stocks would also come down at the same time, well, watch out on commodity currencies that could lose much more value. So Aussie dollar is one of them. Now, looking at the Aussie dollar here, what I'm referring to is, yes, I'm also looking this to be an impulsive recovery, meaning I will be looking and expecting more upside. But I think that this is only still first wave A. You would expect wave B and then wave C drop before this market could really again starting to look higher. Okay, so I'm thinking that US dollar could see a little bit of more strength in the next few months, as long these commodity cycles will be in the retracement mode. Okay, but just don't get confused with the higher degree picture. I still think that that commodities will see higher prices. I think that crude oil will reach higher prices, but maybe we will even see a move below $60 per barrel, and at the same time, obviously, the dollar could get much stronger, especially if stocks, which are still quite strong in my opinion, especially the US market, especially if this market would come much lower. So don't get confused by these current reversals. I think that they are temporary, but still it could take time before they will completely unfold. Okay, because we need this on Aussie dollar. Obviously, you need this ABC structure before we can say that this correction is finished. Now, if we look here on a very big picture to give you the overall outlook, why I think that Aussie at some point could continue higher with this commodities outlook after these pullbacks. Well, notice that here back in 2000, when we have that dot-com bubble, then we have this great recession here in 2008, and then you have this COVID crisis. Okay, so each time when market has seen sharp drop during recession times, then it recovered, and this recovery has actually occurred in 3 waves away from this recession low here after 2000. Then after 2008, you have also seen a 3-wave recovery. And from these COVID lows, so far we have only one leg to the upside. So if I respect the previous recession lows, then this is what I'm looking for, more upside after this ABC retracement. But as I said, for now, this retracement is still ongoing and still incomplete. So be aware of potential more dollar strength in the next few months. Of course, there will be some intraday pullbacks, retracement, but I think that that still, if commodities will turn to the downside, as long as the crude oil is in this bearish reversal mode, I think the dollar is actually ticking higher. Okay, traders, thank you very much for your attention. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please support us with a like, leave us a comment, share it if you want to see more of our videos in the future. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.